Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny podcast. Fran Mirabella is with me.
Hey, everybody.
Again. And Gothalion.
There he is.
Back from Bungie.
Yeah. I'm the current, burn boy over at Reddit right now. It's super fun.
Reddit loves you. Somebody has to be, the scapegoat.
That's right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, they're mad at you? What for?
He was too charming.
Oh, on the stream itself. I see.
Yeah. I made too many jokes that were awful. I'm sorry. I'm a dad.
Well, I was counting on that for this show, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be super serious for this show.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Don't do that. We have a really exciting episode this week. There's a ton of details from Bungie, from you.
Yeah, what's the basic show rundown?
So we're going to start by talking about the Reef and what you need to know. We're going to talk about how ascending your gear works. It's extremely important. And our favorite weapons and armor from
that we want to ascend.
From the game.
From the
No, the second expansion, House of Wolves.
Oh, right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first up, let's open up talking about the Reef. Gothalion, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you saw?
The Reef. Well, I found 2 ghosts, and that was cool. Bungie
Where were
didn't
they? Where
show
were they?
those.
Tell us.
Yeah, there's this one. It's like under a beam, and then the other one's like on a roof. Look for it, guys.
All right, now we know.
The Reef was cool. I mean, obviously, it was a bit more like rundown or industrial than the tower.
Mm-hmm.
It's a smaller space than the tower, but I feel like it has a lot of personality to it. So I think they had to create something that was drastically different from the other social space.
So who are the important characters in the social space?
In the social space, we've got all the names. Dang it.
Petra Venge.
Petra. I
Let's
called
start with Petra.
her what was it? Queen Dude was Petra, and she was the Queen's emissary.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got the Vandal Dude who had his arms ripped off because
Varix.
he whatever.
Varix the Loyal.
Yeah, he's disloyal, so he got his, which is brutal lore.
Yeah.
And then you've got everything around there. There's a new Cryptarch who looks like Electro from the terrible Spider-Man movie.
Oh,
So
I didn't realize he was a new Cryptarch yet. He's a new one.
Yeah. And
Does he sound the same? I really like it.
Oh, that looks fun. I don't think they showed him very much on the stream. Did
Did
they?
we hear him?
Did we walk by him, Gothalion?
I got to see him.
Okay.
We walked by him in the I believe we did.
Man, I've become so accustomed to that horrible relationship and how it sounds,
Well, now you've got a new
that's
one.
a rare find. It's like a horrible weapon.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
I just hope he's really trolly in this. It's like, I wonder what this will be.
I'm just excited. That relationship with the Cryptarch is so important.
Yeah.
And now to think about it being a new Cryptarch, and we don't know what his name yet, it sounds
What
like.
if he's super sarcastic? What if he's like, oh, yeah, this will be a purple?
That would be perfect, actually, where he's like, well, this should go well.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
They should
Please
really
don't hate
embrace
me
the
forever.
troll. And then there was the Trials of Osiris guy.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like,
Brother-
never mind. We'll go off on that later. But
Brother Vance is another
Brother
character.
Vance. Yeah, that's the one.
Trials
He's
of
really important.
Osiris.
He is Trials of Osiris. We didn't see too much with him, did we?
Not too much. I mean, they just kind of went up and went in his gear. You just don't hear talk to them much. Well, because I think there will be cutscenes, right, that we just haven't got to see. Like we saw with Eris, and her speaking to you in the trailer and stuff like that. I think there will be more of that, I presume.
Kind of giving you a rundown of
I assume so.
of what happened.
Yeah.
Sure.
We will find out soon enough. So, there's also a postmaster. It's just the same postmaster as the one in the tower.
Is it still Xander? Oh, postmaster. That's not Xander.
No, yeah, it's just a postmaster. There is the bounty tracker. I don't think it's Xander, though. It's just a robot.
Right.
I don't believe he was named. And then there is a vault. It is a shared vault. It's not a new vault. It's just your vault in a different location so that you can access all your weapons.
It makes sense for convenience, but part of me, I was like, can I just get a new vault for more space? Like,
Well, the bounty board was also shared too, just so there's no confusion.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what I
so maybe
gathered,
that
at
is
least.
Xander 99.
the basic
or whatever his name
bounties.
was.
Maybe. I don't think you can be in two places at the same time, though, Fran. He's a robot, so it's like Xander 99B.
Maybe
like
he's
for
Xander.
brother, for his
maybe
little
he's
brother.
Xander 98. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. What else?
That's cool. So it's very similar to the current tower.
It
we
is.
didn't see anybody what's her name who sells the shaders.
no,
and
nobody
emblems.
like that. We saw.
All-
No.
Yeah, each
No.
vendor seemed to have a lot of good stuff in that realm.
They did tease hidden areas, though.
They
that
did,
haven't
yeah.
been
I asked
unlocked
about
yet.
that, and they said they'd sort of moved it along from there. So maybe that's some areas they might use in the future.
They walked up to a door, looked at it for like 60 seconds straight, and talked about secret areas that might open. Maybe we can't say anything.
Is the speaker only in the old tower?
Yeah.
Or the tower?
Yeah.
Huh.
So let's move on actually to talk about the tower. So one question that everybody has is, why would I ever go to the tower again? Well, first of all, the gunsmith and the speaker are great reasons to go to the tower. Gothalion, what does the gunsmith do now?
The gunsmith has telemetries now to start, which I thought was really interesting, and they sort of didn't focus on that much, but telemetries are awesome. But other than that, the big reason is you can reforge your faction weapons that you can buy in the House of Wolves now.
Yeah,
so,
House of Wolves weapons
only,
nothing else. So like I can't re-roll my shadow price.
Yeah.
You know, and
it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of your vendors, like the faction specific ones, it looks
Dead
like
Orbit, New
their
Monarchy.
inventory is going away,
Vanguard, yeah.
and it's being reset with House of Wolves weapons, because we actually looked at New
saw
Monarchy
that.
and stuff, and.
Yeah,
I texted you last night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Fran, go buy Vanquisher 8, like right now.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's 150
I went to look at that. I
marks.
was like, 150 Crucible marks. I want to save those for new weapons. But now, I mean, what do you think, Gothalion? Like,
yeah, what are
would
the
you advise?
must-haves?
Yeah, like going back to buy stuff.
I think I'm going to go through the inventories and see if there's anything with good perks that I want to buy right now.
Yeah.
But there's nothing with like exceptional perks in the tower just yet.
Yeah,
some of the weapons.
Like, yeah, we talked about it because, like, Alfredo loved the Vanquisher, I guess. I never really used it. I don't use ARs that much.
Well, now nobody
It's a
does.
solid one, yeah.
That's a good point. And, yeah, the game always changes. But I have some decent ARs, but ultimately, like, having Vex, it's like, I know it's a fusion, but it's more like almost
It's also an
AR.
exotic, so.
Yeah, it is an exotic slot. But
They also might rotate this time around, because that's been something the community has wanted, is for the vendors to rotate their inventory, and you never know, maybe that's something Bungie has listened to, because they've listened to a whole lot.
Yeah.
I would love to have another chance at Shadow Price. Was my favorite AR from launch Destiny, and I would love to get that reroll with the ammo perk for more ammo.
you can't do it
But
today.
yeah, you can't get that one. You can't get the Devil You Know anymore. Those
Yeah.
are two like very sought after weapons.
Right. Let me ask this question, which I just don't understand about it, and maybe we don't know the answer yet. What is the advantage of taking all these weapons with all these roles and styles and removing them from the game for roles? Like, if anything, right, like we just don't get enough good stuff out of Nightfall, for example. Like, I would gladly take just random rolls on every type of weapon. Like,
I get new Monarchy drops in Nightfall.
Yeah, but now you're not going to be able to – you'll get fewer types of drops. Like, meaning why not expand the library? Why reduce it? You know, I don't totally understand that.
That's a good point.
I mean, maybe because the way the game works, then people are going to get these old guns and be really mad, and I do understand that, and maybe balancing that out was really hard. That's my only guess, by the way. It's kind of unfortunate, right? You have 3 DLC packs now, a really big library of guns and names and designs and roles, and then you're taking stuff away over time, you know?
That's a good point, but if I get another secret handshake, I am going to kill somebody.
I've never got that shotgun, right?
I've gotten 8.
Oh, wow.
Just like a ridiculous amount where I'm just like, oh, another one, delete.
Yeah. What do you think, Gothalion?
Yeah.
So you want to be able to get like the older weapons just based on looks, or their roles aren't really too different from some of the recolors or reskins,
Right.
but it'd still be nice to have those weapons in the game somewhere to be able to get, like, have them in the loot pool in
That's what I mean,
the Crucible or whatever.
It just
because
seems like
you're throwing away artwork pretty much.
That's exactly it, right? I mean, maybe it is just the looks because, there's going to be really nicely balanced House of Wolves stuff, I hope.
Yeah.
And, like, does it make sense to go back and get really what's another version of something new? But at the same time, it adds a diversity where it's like, well, I like, Devil You Don't or whatever. Like, you never know.
Nobody likes that
I don't
one,
like that guy. No. I
The
burned
funny
that
part
twice.
about the being able to re-roll your perks is, I believe this is something we talked about the first time I was on Fireteam chat.
Mm-hmm.
And Fredo was vehemently against being able to
Reroll
your perks because he thought it would introduce people just being super overpowered or
Good.
whatever. But they did add a bunch of new perks into the game, so I think there's going to be a ton of variety of what you want your loadout to be.
But it costs, right? I mean, do we know how you re-roll cost-wise yet? officially?
Yeah, it was on there. I believe it's moats.
It's moats and some glimmer, I think, yeah.
Speaking of moats,
not cheap.
we never talked about the speaker. You can buy moats now. You can exchange materials. All that's really huge. We did a bunch of news about that
You can
on
buy
IGN.
Glimmer.
Yeah, you can buy
With
Glimmer
materials.
using your Ascendant shards. So I have like
Yeah.
450 Ascendant shards.
Yeah, me
It's
I've like
like, well, I'm
1,000.
short on Glimmer, cash in.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I think that was smart. It just completely balance it out, fix your economy with whatever you need by going over to speaker. Plus, it gives you a reason to go to the speaker. Like,
Yeah.
there wasn't really a reason to do that.
So the only thing I really want to see is to be able to exchange Ascendant energy for Radiant energy and Ascendant shards for Radiant shards. Like, I don't even know if we're going to need that economy though moving
you
into
can do
House of
that,
Wolves.
right?
No, you cannot.
No, you could. You can exchange Ascendant energy for Ascendant shards and
can
Radiant shards for Radiant energy.
You can do that, but you can't exchange Ascendant shards for Radiant shards.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Radiant
Which is
shards.
what I would
the
like.
the up trade.
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that the Radiant shards, how necessary they'll be, or if those bubbles will exist when you ascend the gear. I didn't ascend anything while I was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think you're really going to need those, right? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
because don't you just need some materials and Glimmer and stuff to ascend, not shards?
Well, let's actually move on to our next topic if we're going to go there.
That's
Our
up to
next
you.
topic is Destiny, how ascending your gear works. Now, most of this is from Reddit, as they were paying attention to the stream and taking photos of almost everything.
Yeah, like stuff that we need mouse over would like go by so fast sometimes.
So first of all, here's what Reddit found. Exotic weapons require 1,500 Glimmer, 25 weapon materials, and 1 exotic shard. And it seems like they don't require the new material Etheric Light.
Yeah.
And I said it wrong.
No, they don't. Exotics you can upgrade if you have the shard. You can. I'm pretty much going to be able to go in and upgrade my entire catalog of exotics.
Yeah, I
Wait,
have
isn't it called Etheric Light, or is it pronounced
it's
differently?
like Etherical Light.
Etheric. Oh, Etheric Light. Got
Yeah.
it. Like ethereal, maybe, or no,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not ethereal.
Or-
Ethereal Light.
Etheric. Oh, etheric. I think it's Etheric Light. Hey, we got to
Etheric?
know this, Dad.
Yeah.
It's important. Anyway,
We were talking about it before the stream. We're like, man, I really
Not
don't want to
gonna
screw
screw
up
this
how to
one up.
say it. And then immediately I'm just like,
that's how
oh,
we do
well.
it. Corrections, no. It's from a previous show. But yeah, what I mean, if you look at what they're asking, it's not that much. Okay, 1,500 Glimmer. You know, that's
a lot.
not going to take you that long.
Here's exotic armor, 1,500 Glimmer, 25 Hardonic Essence as an example, and 1 exotic shard. That's if you're Warlock, obviously different for the other classes. But that's pretty good for exotic armor. And then your legendary stuff is where you need the Etheric Light. Now, Etheric Light, what do we know about it, Gothalion? Did they say much?
Etheric.
You can get it out of Nightfalls, Iron Banner, Trials of Osiris, and the Prison of Elders.
Okay.
So two
They
of those
said that?
activities you can do without having the DLC.
Yeah, that was
at all.
on there.
Okay.
Yeah, so how frequently, though, can you get it? Obviously, Nightfall, you have
No
one chance
idea.
there. We don't
Yeah.
know
No
yet.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, how it works in Nightfall and all that stuff is really going to be interesting. How much do you get? That's what I want to know.
I'm gonna assume it's 1 per drop because each upgrade takes 1, regardless. So
Yeah,
I don't
but-
imagine they'll let you upgrade more than 1 piece at a time based on
I
your
think
drops.
it's like an exotic shard, yeah. I think it's like that.
Yeah.
So,
Which, by the way, I just want to say I've like sat on upgrading my exotics for super long because I wasn't wearing them, so I have all these exotic shards. I'm really happy.
so for weapons and armor, it is 750 Glimmer, 20
Mm-hmm.
planetary materials, different ones for different weapons, and 1 Etheric Light.
Yeah. Other than the Etheric Light, it's not that expensive. It's just,
True.
I mean, honestly, if you look at it, it's just like exotic shard setup, like we already have experienced, but it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So where it used to cost like what 7,500 Glimmer or whatever, it was crazy to upgrade.
Yeah.
Now it's much cheaper, but getting that shard, right? You know that's going to be tricky, and I expect it to be just as tricky for the Etheric Light.
Well, the exotic shards are easy to get, but the Etheric Light's going to be tricky.
It sounds to me like I have maybe 2 or 3 opportunities, maybe 4 if they're going to drop it in. I don't know if it's going to start appearing in raids. Probably not, I guess, but 2 or 3
No,
opportunities
yeah.
a week. What do you think?
Yeah,
Is
2 to
that-
3 opportunities in a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means we talked about, we can ascend everything. The grind is gone.
It's gonna take a while.
No. Yeah.
No, the
like-
grind's still there.
Yeah, the grind is still there. That's kind of the point. I mean, what's the next release? We don't know yet.
Well, the big question is kind of what's going to happen with that Xur upgrade to version 2? Do you do anything with that anymore? Or, like, what do you do with your version 2 weapons now?
Well, wait, what do you
just
mean? You
upgrade them
don't-
to max?
You don't
Well,
need
like,
to
right-
go through Xur.
Right now, if I have an Invective, there is no reason to go to Xur at all, right?
On May
Yeah, none.
19th and after, there's no reason.
Yeah, true. Right now, you
Right.
can upgrade to version 2.
Yeah, but don't do it because it's a waste. You're right. And
Yeah.
to Destin, I think your point, you're saying, like, just ascend, don't use Xur. But here's the real question. When you go to Xur, are they going to strip all that out? I would
think so.
imagine, right? There's no reason for him to upgrade you to DLC 2, so to speak, right? So meaning that's the real interesting part. What's Xur going to look like after May 19th? Because that whole bottom row, in theory, should be gone. Unless maybe that's where you do it now. No, you don't. They said you don't have to go
and
to Xur.
telemetries, though. So if
That's right, you don't have to go.
Losing telemetries.
That's the real question. I think I'd love to see some posts and comments about that. Email us at Destiny@IGN and all the above. But yeah, what's Xur going to look like since, unless we're missing something, there's no reason to go to Xur to upgrade after the 19th.
Well, he would probably let you
I don't know.
upgrade to version 3, right?
But meaning it's an ascend slot.
Yeah, it's a weird.
Yeah.
There's no
Okay.
reason.
That's
No,
a slot.
but right, they changed his whole layout.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be gone. Which is fine. Maybe they go back to the old way and just strip it
Well, they
out.
didn't like that system. There's been devs have commented on that and said that they wanted to strip that because the community didn't like it, and they realized it
It's
was
annoying
the wrong
too. It's
path to go
ugly.
down.
Like after I upgraded a few things, like it was just always there and it was annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought of re-rolling a few times, but I was like,
It's not worth it. Not worth the time.
But now you can do it all in your menu, so they fixed it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
And what I really want to know is, can I take my level 1 max Galahorn and upgrade it immediately to a level 3 maxed out Galahorn? That's
I don't
what
think
I want
it'll
to
have the perks on it. It looks like all the weapons and armor in the second expansion don't have armor and damage bubbles on it. So will ascending it just do away with that, or you still have to fill it up? Because I don't think you have to fill it up
so
before
if it's
ascending.
not upgraded and you go to version 3, will it fill out all the bubbles for you, or do you have to still do that work? Is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, essentially. But I feel like we might be in a situation where it just makes you fill
No,
out perks
on the stream, if it was maxed out and they upgraded it, it was.
Well, they all stayed.
Yeah,
It
they
retained.
They all stayed, yeah.
But your question's important. If they're still empty, I have a bunch of weapons that are like this. If I ascend, does it go to the top? I think it will go to the base level. Like, do we know what the base damage is of, a new exotic? Like, right, it's 300 today.
Yeah, 300 for a version 1.
For version 1. No,
Vanilla
that's
Destiny.
the base level of an exotic weapon.
No, it's
today.
302. 302.
Oh,
for
302.
Dark
You're
Below.
right.
Yeah.
Fine. 302.
No, sorry. 300 is a
it is.
maxed out version 1 Galahorn.
Version 1, I know.
302 is the Dark Below base. This is the
Yeah, I
kind of
know.
number stuff that people are gonna go crazy
No,
about.
but that's what I'm
Right.
saying. Just to illustrate, though, let's take it simple. Okay, fine. It's 302.
Yeah.
Max is 331 or whatever
Yeah.
for Galahorn, right?
For Dark Below.
For 2-day,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
331. So what I'm saying is, in the new House of Wolves world, curious what you think, Gothalion and Destin. If you haven't upgraded that experience on your Galahorn, let's say, will it put you at the new base level, which sounds like it could be 332 or 333?
Yeah, just a step.
Do we know what
yeah.
that base level is yet? We don't even know if it exists, I guess is the other question. It would have to. Upgrading through the perk
Well, we know what the
system.
max is. It's 365.
There you go. So I bet
Yeah.
you it's about 330 something for the base. So my theory would be if you haven't upgraded it yet, your ascend will take you to that, but you still got to run through the experience to get you to max level.
Okay. So just so I want to get this in here.
That's fine.
What are you guys going to ascend first? Like, what's your highest priority stuff to level up?
Armor.
For you, it's
Specifically,
armor,
though, Gothalion.
Light level is the most important thing in the game.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
you
get
can
it.
have amazing weapons and be one level under, and you're severely nerfed. So
Yeah,
that's
armor's
true.
first for me. Yeah.
Yeah, my Heesen helmet from Vault of Glass because I love the look. Perks, I got to look into it, but I just want that helmet so bad, and ascending that would be awesome. But do you have an idea, Gothalion, of specifically which armor yet?
Specifically, which armor?
Yeah.
Shoot. I mean, it really depends
Pick
because I
three.
didn't get to play around with it that much. But do the base stats go up? I mean, you can assume that the base stats go up when you ascend it.
Yeah.
If you're looking at your
like
your
intelligence
strength,
and
intellect,
stuff like
discipline. Did you have a chance to see that? Because I didn't get a lot of hands-on time with ascending.
that. Not on the stream. I don't remember seeing it on the stream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something to consider as well. Base stats are important.
Yeah. What are your top 3 weapons though? We'll start with weapons, then armor. Like, just
Sure.
pick like 3 of your favorites. I can go first if you need time to think about it.
No, go ahead.
All right. Galahorn, Fatebringer, Vision of Confluence, Corrective Measure, and then my Vault of Glass armor.
Slow down and repeat that. Galahorn, Vision
Pretty
of
much
Confluence.
everything from the vault.
In that order?
Everything from the vault.
You got-
Galahorn's number 1 priority.
Psh, I
Number
disagree.
1. Are you kidding? It's the best weapon in the game.
It's
I
the best
still
weapon in the
disagree
game.
with it.
Yeah.
Currently.
Number 2 is Fatebringer.
Mhm.
Vision of Confluence is kind of a guilty pleasure. It's not great. So actually, number 3 for me would have to be Icebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you're saying only weapons right now, not. Not.
Number
See, this is why
four-
I'm
are we
challenging.
really
Really
Number four
including
will be
exotics
my
in this?
Volta
Because I
Glass
feel like
armor.
we're going to go in with the materials to upgrade exotics.
Yeah.
Like as far as for players like us three, I'm sure we all have a few
We have
exotic shards
parts,
lying around.
Like according to the
Yeah, I
Reddit
have
thread,
everything I
we
need.
have what we need to
Yeah,
upgrade
I can
those
upgrade
things, yeah.
exotics right away without having to chase stuff. So yeah, a number of my exotics are going to come up.
What about you, Fran? What are some of yours?
Well, yeah, definitely the Volta Glass helmet, just for looks, for starter. But I like the perks are decent too. But,
Probably your Fatebringer, right? Right away?
Very funny. I'm still chasing Fatebringer. You have to bring that up all the time. At this point, yeah, whatever. Hopefully, I just get it out of the new one. But anyway, that was big. But actually, it's funny. I was just going over my list, and yeah, I mean, Icebreaker was actually way up there for me. I mean, you just use it so much.
Yeah.
My Vex Mythoclast for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's an important one.
And, you know, I talk about it a lot on here as my Purifier 7 Void Fusion. It was just a really nice roll with Feeding Frenzy and Fast Reload, Fast Coils, so it's a great fusion.
Yeah.
I use it so much, so
Yeah.
I definitely want to roll that. You know, there's a lot to think about otherwise. But to Gothalion's point earlier, hitting your light level early is important. So I do think that's where, if I'm going to get Etheric Light, probably I'm going to first think about armor. I mean, I know that weapons are important, but that light level is so important because it strengthens your weapons right away, too. So
Well, let's let Gothalion answer his weapons, then we'll talk about armor really
Okay.
quick, because I have something I wanted to say about it. Go ahead, Gothalion.
I'm gonna obviously Fatebringer.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So wait, Fatebringer or Galahorn first?
Fatebringer probably.
Fatebringer's number one.
bad boy.
Yeah,
You're
Fatebringer
wrong,
probably.
but that's okay. Just kidding.
I'm
Well,
definitely
Galahorn,
gonna,
you can do it for free, basically. You don't have to
exotic.
worry about Galahorn. So
Well, it's a
really,
shard,
you
but
only
yeah.
have to think about your Etheric Light.
Yep, that's
So, yeah.
exactly the question, right?
Okay. So yeah, I guess
probably a
Fatebringer-
Fellwinter's Lie
Yeah.
in there
Which one?
because that shotgun's ridiculous. And
Fellwinter's Lie is
Corrective
from,
Measure and probably my Deviant Gravity. As far as
Yeah.
legendaries goes, those are probably the ones I use the most.
You like Corrective Measure too? It's my favorite.
I love Corrective Measure.
machine
It's
gun.
great.
Yeah.
I really like Corrective Measure, yeah. I would
Yeah.
seriously consider that. Void came from Volta Glass, only level 300 right now.
Yeah.
Any Volta Glass weapon is interesting. Like
It's
Vision
the
of
100
Confidence.
clip. Like I forget I have to reload half the
Yeah.
time with that thing.
Right.
And in PvP, it is just you tear everybody apart.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
going back to your original question, it really is, now that I think about it, we should have said top 5 legendary gear because that's the real battle you're going to face. Sure, exotic shards, and you can buy those from Xur still, I'm sure.
Yeah. You
But
can.
the real battle is getting Etheric Light to level up everything that's not exotic, which of course is the biggest challenge because you only have one exotic slot per side. So
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody has at least 10 legendaries that are in their rotation.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
oh
that's
yeah,
a lot
Word
of
of
grinding.
Crota. I have
Vision
yeah,
of Confluence is a big one for
Word
me.
of Crota, or sorry, Hunger of Crota and Word of Crota. I use a ton actually.
Oh
so.
yeah. As your alternate, like if you can't have a exotic, you need a.
Now, very commonly, I run with Word of Crota, Hand Cannon, Void, right? And then I have like Icebreaker, second slot, and then Hunger of Crota in the third, depending on the mission. But I mean, it's
My three heavies are Galahorn, Hunger of Crota, and Corrective Measure. That's just like my go-tos. You know.
good choices.
Yeah. Anyway, armor. So for me, the one thing I wanted to say about armor really quick is what I want to upgrade is the gear that will help me the most. So like I want a higher intelligence, a little bit lower strength, but I want a little bit of strength because I want that faster recharge. And what is it? It's intellect, strength, and
Discipline.
Yeah. So then kind of a balance between discipline and intellect for my warlock.
Yeah, Discipline's melee cooldown, right?
I believe so.
That's grenade.
Yeah. Intellect
Discipline's
is
grenade.
super.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't really care about strength as much.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever armor gives me the best stats, even if I look goofy, I don't care.
I know. What do you think, Gothalion?
I don't like looking goofy. I don't want to look like a circus clown.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I'll do two. I'll do two sets. One where I look really cool,
Oh,
and
you're
one that's
just
actually functional and usable.
Taking showers of etheric light, Destin. You do whatever you want. No, I mean, that is the interesting
Yeah.
part, right? Like, I talked about it a lot. I like looking right. I don't know. That's part of the game is who you are. And so I will probably balance it out. Like, this makes sense, but I'm going to wear the Volta Glass Heathen helmet on the Warlock because it's so awesome.
It
I
does
don't
look
care
awesome.
What it is.
Yeah, it's a great looking helmet.
Yeah.
So we're getting pretty close to the end here, but we have one more topic we wanted to go over, and that is our favorite weapons and armor that we've seen in House of Wolves this far. And basically, I went to Reddit and looked at all this stuff here. I took a few notes. It says, gear requires way less materials to max out now. 5 relic iron and 4 hardonic essence was shown as an example during the stream.
Hedronic?
Hedronic, you're right.
Okay.
I just can't talk.
You're the king.
I can't read. I can't read things.
Everything he
Reading's
says is the
irrelevant. You'll
opposite.
be fine.
Etherical and hardonic. Yeah.
Sorry.
Vanguard Gear is going away. We said this earlier, and this was guessed by the Outlast 1988 on Reddit. He said, "Get a Vanquisher 8," with the one that I kept
another
trying
one.
you to get.
Man, I might have to buy it.
So here's a question: are we going to have double rocket launchers? There's a screenshot of a dude holding a rocket launcher with a rocket launcher on his back.
That one that's like, yeah.
Yeah. What's that about? Do you think there's going to be like a special rocket launcher in your second slot?
I think there's a. You go first, Gothalion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, there's been a lot of guesses about that. It's either, hey, you get a primary rocket launcher. I'm not sure I'm on board with that, or a special one. I feel like that would make you too overpowered in the Crucible.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning towards effectively some sort of relic.
See, maybe. I actually think is under the model of Universal Remote and all of that. Like, I do think there's a good chance of in special, a light to medium powered. Almost like a grenade launcher effect, let's call it. I do think there's a decent chance that you could rock something like that, plus a real rocket launcher. But like you're right, an actual rocket launcher, I don't know. But I think if it's medium
that would
powered,
break Crucible in half. Like people would
cool.
be in
I'll take a grenade launcher too of some kind.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a one round rocket launcher is your special weapon. That maybe, I don't know. We'll find out.
But again, you're sort of assuming that it's like a full-on rocket launcher, but like, you know, Universal Remote has its limits as well as a primary. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I've seen a lot more of it since they've been limiting the special ammo though, for people that want to main a shotgun.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the look of the gear that we've kind of been teased by during like the stream? Like we saw Gothalion wearing some cool new stuff, and on their website.
The helmet with the horns on it. The
ram.
Yeah, the ram helmet.
It's a Warlock helmet, right? The ram.
Silly. Yeah. It's so silly. It's great.
I don't know what that is, but I want it. It looks cool.
Oh, yeah.
The Trials of Osiris gear looks awesome.
It does look super cool.
Yeah.
I think the gear looks really good. I think if you look through it, and I noticed with the shaders, although they didn't show them, there's a lot of color. And looking through the weapons too, right? We're glancing down at the sheet here in the podcast room, and there's like yellow popping, you know, there's orange and whites, and like I think they're really trying to get stuff to pop. And yeah, like watching you run around Gothalion and Deej and everyone, like even like when you went to the Crucible Quartermaster, I mean, it was like white, primary red, bright blue, like very vibrant stuff. And I think that they've really taken that to heart, it seems.
And
the ships on the main factions are really, really impressive this time around,
Yeah, and the ships, they have that cool new ship you can get in the reef, and like all the ships are really colorful. No more poop brown ships. That's great. That was a big problem at lunch.
I was like, when am I going to find my next brown ship?
Was that the
How
official?
come you don't get anything when you dismantle ships?
Yeah, you still don't get
They're
anything.
made of something, so...
Yeah. That'd be
Well,
nice.
We don't know
to
that
get.
for sure. They didn't do that yet. But
It'd be nice to get Glimmer or something for it.
Something.
Like that one
Like
ship's like 16,000, 17,000 Glimmer.
Yeah.
You should get like a part or something for dismantling.
But yeah, I do think things are looking really nice. We don't know what a lot of these are yet, though, right? The perks, the stuff on them. So
sure.
Yeah, there's an NES-looking light gun that one Reddit user actually found out. So there's an image of this gun, this pistol. It's the only pistol we've really seen this far. And it was from Revolve Mac on Reddit. It's like an NES pistol that you get, and it's actually in the cutscene from when you go to the reef for the first time, and you have that like tussle with the queen. Or whatever.
Really? It was already in there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like it's more like electronic from the sound of it.
Yeah. It looks like an NES zapper basically.
Not quite a hand cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gear that I want, Trials of Osiris, and whatever that ram helmet is. There's like a bird chest, hunter chest piece.
Yeah,
also
that looks really cool, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. And some of the ships.
It's looking great. I mean, I don't know if this was really on the list to talk about, but how are you guys feeling about House of Wolves as a release versus what we saw with Dark Below? Yeah. I'm really excited, and I'm not gonna go off and rant. I'd love to hear from you guys.
Go ahead, get that lane.
I'm super excited, man. From what I've seen, it seems like there's going to be a lot more replayability this time around. The grind is still obviously there with the etheric light, but I'm really excited. I'm ready for new stuff, and it's been a long time, and people are super excited about just like a little drop in the bucket of here's what's coming. So I think it's going to be all around better received than Dark Below. Yeah, from what I've seen thus far.
I cannot wait to like hop in, play this game, start trying out the new modes and everything like that. And the community responded really, really well to the stream. Like they're excited. They feel like Bungie's listening to them.
Yep.
And that's really important. Bungie really needed a big win with this DLC.
Yeah. No, I feel like this is a big drop, actually. Dark Below was our first experience, and we sort of thought, oh, is this how it's going to work? And we're like, okay, fine. You know, we're waiting on the hard raid. And then January came and went, and it was like, man, this is it until House of Wolves. And we've been scraping by. This release feels like there's a lot of good stuff. You know, you get a whole new area. You're getting a lot of gear, it looks like, actually. I haven't done the count. It looks significant, you know. We're seeing a lot of stuff, a lot of ships. So I feel really, really good about it. The real question is, will Prison of Elders and sure, Trials of Osiris, but especially for that co-op group play, will it replace the raids and the issues that we're wanting to have a 6-man raid? You know, that's TBD. But I do think it looks like a really big drop. And if you're going to rate it versus Dark Below, it looks like it's going to come out on top.
Yeah. Well, Fran, that's all that we have time for today. But I do have an exciting announcement. We are allowed to say I was at Bungie. I'm allowed to say I was at Bungie. I'm allowed to say that I played Trials of Osiris and I played Prison of Elders, and that you can expect impressions next week Wednesday at 11 a.m. on IGN. It's the same time as their stream. So hit up IGN, check out all the news that we're going to have from the event, and you know, have Bungie open in your other tab. Yeah, we'll be bringing you everything from their stream also. So
super exciting. We did forget one thing, which we don't have to cover now. Commendations you can just burn to. Do you want to cover that now?
Yeah. So just briefly, the commendation system, those commendation system, those marks that, or what are they called? There's commendations, right?
Yeah, commendations. Yeah.
So if you burn 20 of those, you're going to be able to hit rank 3 with
24. I thought you said
20 with Nightfall buff.
Oh, with the buff.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So if you have Nightfall buff, you can burn 20 of those and be rank 3 in any of the factions. So just put on your faction bond, burn 20 of those with your Nightfall buff, and you're rank 3 in New Monarchy or whatever you want to be. Or if you need to level up your Vanguard, this is how you're going to do it. This is great if you play Dark Below.
Yeah, if you do the math, it sounds like if you have Nightfall buff, it takes 6 to 7 commendations to get through a rank.
Yeah.
20,
24 without the buff.
Yeah, but it's really cool. You can, you know, just burn them. I assume you got to go to the. I didn't see how it was done, but you have to go to the faction and then.
It looked like he did it from his inventory on the weekly update.
I saw that on the GIF, and that's why I'm confused. Like, how does it go towards? Oh, it's what you're wearing. Duh.
Yeah.
You put on the.
So if you're wearing nothing, it'll probably go towards
Vanguard or Crucible.
I knew that.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Corrections.
I do also want to say thank you. I pulled a lot of these stats from Reddit, so thank you, Asper Juriek, Wiki 2726, and Sage Leader. For a lot of the topics on the show this week.
Awesome.
I prepped as best as I could. Hopefully, I got most of those.
He was a little busy, apparently.
Yeah, a little busy. Thank you for joining us, Gothalion. Where can people find your stuff? We didn't do the intro like last time. So.
Yeah, we didn't. You can find me at twitch.tv/King Gothalion, or on Twitter. It is at Gothalion. And
Okay.
Easy.
Fran?
I'm just at Fran Mirabella. Easy to find me. FM3. I've still got space on my list on PS4 if you want to play.
And I'm at Destin Legary on Twitter. Thank you guys for joining us. Until next time, Guardians out.
Guardians out.
It's never going to catch on.
It totally is. I'm getting it. People are responding like, love the chat. Guardians out. We need it.
Guardians out.
There we go. There we go.